when it comes to the idea that Zack Snyder has been in contact with WB, with David Zaslav's team, to talk about his storyboards. Now, I know that Ben Everett's put out that fake scoop the other day, which he called a social experiment, which has now been twisted and prodded and completely turned into like, oh, that's just an excuse for putting out a bogus scoop.
And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that separates Ben Everett from the Scoop Troop, right? When has Ben ever gone out of his way to do something like this in the past? Never.
Never.
Hardly ever. You don't ever see Ben Everett or any of the other Real Anarchy cats or the Real Life Talk guys be like, oh, we've got an exclusive. Oh, we got the key. It's none of that bullshit with them. They don't do stuff like that.
Well, okay, look, now I will say that, I mean, like, there was the whole Ryan Reynolds talk that I never really bought that.
Fair point.
Okay,
Fair point.
but you know, everyone had like their own little spin on what was going on with Green Lantern. But he put out the fake article, right? And what happened? Another YouTuber immediately made a video, not to debunk it, but to claim that it was stolen because it was reported on already back in January. But he made up the scoop. He made it up because he was like, well, no. And so there were three things of evidence, right? One of them was the Teen Titans Go, saying that like there's no way that Zack went there, right? And didn't talk about his universe, and that WBD, David Zaslav, would have had to have been around because this never would have happened under the old regime, right? Never would have happened. The old regime would never have had him on there. They would never have had him on there, right? Never had him a part of a production under their regime, under the old regime, right?
And see, here's where that story already begins to fall apart. Because when you make the claim that Warner Brothers Discovery met with Zack Snyder in 2021, well, already right there, that's bullshit. Because Warner Brothers Discovery did not exist until April of 2022.
Well, now look. Now I know that there may be like they're claiming that the people have been claiming that they even met with them at the beginning of 2022. Okay, so my point is this: the argument that the old regime would never have allowed Zack Snyder to be in a production even as small as Teen Titans Go, never. That would have had to have been under the regime of David Zaslav and Warner Bros. Discovery, right?
Right.
So Eric Pringle, who is the animation director for Teen Titans Go, was contacted by an individual by the name of Casey Walsh.
Why did you say that name?
And basically, he sort of asked him, you know, and I have to say his name because he literally asked the guy,
right,
when did you have Zack Snyder in studio to record? And he said June of 2021. Okay. June of 2021 was still under the old regime. The new regime didn't take over until May of this year, 2022. Now, people would say, oh, well, I mean, you're telling me that Zaslav didn't have any phone calls or, you know, didn't have any conversations with them. No. He wasn't even in power yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
even
so much.
If he wanted to, it wouldn't matter.
Now, some would say, well, how do you know that? How do you know that? You weren't there. Well, you weren't either. And you don't know how these things work. So it's one thing for me to say that he would not have the ability to make those decisions yet. And for somebody else to say, yeah, but no, he had influence. He did. Guess what? There is no, we're both talking from points of view that it's not going to matter. So let's do this. I'll be David Zaslav. Okay. So here, let's do this. I'll be David Zaslav. Let me change myself over to David, okay? And then I want you to be Teen Titans Go, okay?
Let me find a Teen Titans Go picture. Hey, you know what? No. Oh, forget it. I'll just be Teen Titans Go.
Okay. So here, just turn your camera on. It doesn't matter.
Okay, fine. I'm fine.
Okay. So you're Teen Titans Go, okay? So basically, hold on. Let's do this instead. Okay. There. You're Teen Titans Go now, okay? So this is how some would believe things were happening over at Warner Bros. Discovery. Okay, so here we go. Now we're back in June of 2021. Okay. Phone rings. Answer the phone.
Hello.
Hey,
hello, Mr. Zaslav.
Hey, yo, what up? Hey, is this Teen Titans?
This is creators, showrunners, Teen Titans. What can we do for you, Mr. Zaslav?
Hey, I heard that Zack Snyder was going to be around. He could possibly be in one of your productions. Is that true?
I mean, we based on our current bosses, we can either confirm or deny the validity of that information.
Listen to me. Hey, okay, listen to me, all right? Make sure Zack Snyder is in one of your episodes, because I'm going to restore the Snyderverse, and I want him to be a part of that. I know I'm not in power right now, and I know that this is highly illegal. But if you say anything, once I take if you don't put him in your show, when I take control, I'm gonna fucking fire you. You understand me?
Well, I mean, we already kind of asked him anyway, and he was totally down for the idea to begin with. So
no.
That's great. Make sure that happens, okay? And make sure you told nobody that I talked to you, because if you do, when I take power, I'm gonna fucking fire you. You understand me?
Just do us a favor and don't cancel our show.
Never. I'm not in the business of canceling movies or shows. I'll see you next year.
Thank you, Mr. Zaslav.
But you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you're telling me he's like, hey, Mr. Zaslav has been talking to me, and he wants you to have Zack Snyder in one of your episodes. Could you please make that happen? Oh, yeah, sure. So here we go. Oh, of course, the picture's all small, but... So here we go. So here's that post right there, which you can barely read. It says, Teen Titans Go animation director Eric Pringle. And these are my words. This was the same tweet I put out on Twitter. And Jacob Torres, being the badass that he is, he posted this on Vero. He said, my words, Teen Titans Go animation director Eric Pringle confirms that Zack Snyder was in studio to record his lines on June of 2021, after he was on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert which was on May 27th. When he said the infamous line, yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers. So he literally was on the Stephen Colbert show, did the whole bit, okay? The whole bit. And I thought I had the clip where he says, suck it, Warner Brothers. I did have it. Somehow I lost it. Did that, here's right here.
Yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers.
Did that whole bit, right?
That's right.
On May 27th, did the whole bit. And then a few days later in June, he went back to the studio and recorded lines being himself for Teen Titans Go.
Which, just to put that in perspective, he literally, with his hands crossed like a boss, says, yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers, and then
yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers.
Walks right back into them and just like,
baller move.
I'm going to go record some lines for an animated show.
Baller move.
After I said, you guys suck it. Right? I mean, hey, he said himself, like, after the Snyder Cut debuted, radio silence from the heads at WB, right?
Yeah.
And now it's just like, we're seeing it in physical form. We're seeing it at the top of the charts again. We're seeing it get a digital release. And mind you, this is all post-merger. So clearly there's got to be some kind of, backed, not necessarily incentive, but there's some kind of like level of respect there on some creative level that, or maybe even Zaslav just sees the monetary potential here. I honestly don't know.
Well, but my point being is that to say that the old regime would have never allowed Zack to do this, well, he fucking did it on the old regime. Yep. And that's why I said, way to stick it to the old regime, Zack, because he fucking said, suck at Warner Brothers, that whole bit on the Stephen Colbert show, and then goes back to the studio and records his lines for Teen Titans Go,
right,
under the old regime, with Zaslav and his team had nothing to do with. So that's why, again, when you use this as an example of Zack had to have met with Zaslav because he did this. Well, this happened under the old regime.
You got to figure, like, Zack's going to make an appearance in Teen Titans Go when, James Gunn is making an appearance in the Harley Quinn show. I'm I'm curious to see just how much more of this we might see somewhere down the line. But
And Zach liked this post.
right.
So again, my words from my tweet. Jacob, being a badass that he is, reposted it, put the Teen Titans image on there, and Zach liked it. Essentially saying, yeah, that's what happened. Because it's a baller fucking move. But instead of reporting it as a baller move, like, dude, he fucking went there, did this, fucking told Warner Brothers to suck it, had Stephen Colbert say, suck it, Warner Brothers!
Suck it!
Suck it! And then went back to the studio, recorded his fucking lines, and said, peace out. See you later, bitches.
I'm going to go make Army of the Dead. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to go make Rebel Moon now.
And Army of the Dead. Like, see you later.
Dead, right.
Well, he was already made at that point, but...
Yeah.
Because at this point, already, we knew that those shitheads were not going to continue on with the story.
Right.
And at this time, back when he did this, Hamada was, like, fucking running around with the whole Michael Keaton concept and all that, which they, in turn, have shot down. So, let's just get that straight. Let's get this straight.
By the way, Walter Hamada, my guy. Actually, you're not really my guy, but just, for storytelling purposes here, don't let the door hit you don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, fool. The fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Walter. There you are.
Hello.
Smug SOB. Hey,
so
whatever happened to the Green Lantern? Whatever happened with that?
who the fuck knows?
Right.
Maybe WB sucked it and wanted more Zach crack. I hope so.
Maybe. Yeah.
They were smart.
Yeah.
And see, the thing too was that, again, Zach liked this. He was like, yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. That's true. Baller move. That's why I love Zack Snyder. I'm like, dude, that's a badass move. You fucking tell Warner Bros. To suck it, then show up the next day or a few days later, maybe in June, and you record your lines at the studio and then say, all right, I'm out. Peace. Because you fuckers don't know what you're missing. You have no idea what you're missing out on, But to say that Zach has had talks and communication with Zaslav based on the fact that he's going to be on Teen Titans Go is false.
Yes.
This had nothing to do with David Zaslav. This had nothing to do with Warner Bros. Discovery. This was done under the old regime. This was done under those old assholes that were there. This was done. So this being a form of saying, "Oh, look, it happened," is false. So I want to put that out there. And on top of that, we have a statement here from the Flash Film News. Now, this is something that I talked about earlier. I tweeted this out. There was a report, there was a report that was put out earlier saying that the Flash Film News gave out wrong information about Ezra Miller's recovery and where he was at. And so they wanted to issue this statement on my show saying we stand by our report. Out of respect for Ezra's privacy and wishes, we will not disclose any more information at this time. Flash Film News team. And that's it. That's it. Because they put out information about him going to rehab and all that. And then recently it was claimed that they were wrong. But so they're like, dude, we stand by our report. And so far, these guys, they haven't put out anything false whatsoever. And it's sad that people are trying to spin a narrative that these guys are trying to shill for the movie. Flash shill news. It's kind of like, what are you talking about? They're reporting news about the movie. And why does that bother individuals? If anything, you should be using this as a source for information to build narratives off of. Not, I'm going to build a narrative or I'm going to discredit these guys and build a narrative that this is a phony account. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
No, that's exactly it. Like people who are avidly regurgitating this, and I'm not saying Flash Film News is, but I mean just in terms of like the Scoop Game, the Scoop Troop, Scooper Madness, whatever kind of nickname you want to give it to them. These people do not give an absolute damn about the well-being of Ezra Miller and what they're going through and what they're going to do to recover and be in a better place, mentally speaking. No, they just want to capitalize on I got the fucking story first. It's like, no, shut the fuck up, sit down, mind your own goddamn business for once, drink your fucking homemade tea and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And look, I'm telling you right now, You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me right now. I'm giving you my honest opinion. The Flash Film News, okay? I know the person that runs this account. It's a stand-up individual, very intelligent, and they're not out there trying to put out bullshit or spin narratives. It's not what this account is about. And so, look, you can follow whoever you want to follow on social media, on YouTube, whatever you want to do. That's fine. But I'm letting you know right now that this account is not an account that's searching for clout, that's searching for clicks, that's searching for, making clickbait stuff. That's not what they're about. It's not. You can take my word for it. The Scoopy Madness and Entertainment. Yeah. And the problem is that some of these scooping YouTube channels and websites, they're so quick to try and discredit everybody else because they want to make sure that their fans only come to them, as opposed to saying, "Hey, this is what we're hearing. I don't give a rat's ass what these guys are saying, because this is what I've heard." You know what I mean? But instead, it's become no. Don't go to them because that's bullshit. I have the goods right here. And I'm going to make fun of them, but then claim I'm a victim later. You know, it's just really sad. It's disgusting. We're talking about comic book movies right now.
Right.
We're talking about nerd shit that we love talking about. And I'm sorry, but like, I don't want to have to deal with fake news and L's and W's. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man.
It's like, even on the other side of that coin, like, you've got other people in this, the scooper pooper bullshit. Like, I'm not going to name the name, but you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Like when you're trying to just offset and have these minimalistic nitpicks about something and you immediately compare it to something else. Like if you're going to have the audacity to bitch about Aldous Hodge being Hawkman and calling him a Black Panther ripoff, I'm sorry. You have absolutely zero integrity and zero.
That was ridiculous. That was over the top. It was like, what the fuck?
It was racist. Like, there's no other way to say it. Like, saying he should have been Mr. Terrific was just like, what fucking brain? What's up, Alex? Like, what brain dead cell made it through to exit out of your mouth hole to relay such incompetent nonsense? And the fact that, you're literally going to sit there, bitch and moan about Hawkman's helmet. Oh, it's just like Black Panther. No, the fuck it isn't. No, like
not.
There's fucking comic book proof that Hawkman's armor is nth metal and it does the thing. It's like, come the fuck on, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like calling him like rip off Black Panther. Get the fuck out of here with that racist bullshit.
Oh God, hold on. Let me change my audio avatar. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. But talk a little more about that. And also too, Alex is a good point. Actually, I should say, it's folks telling people what they want to hear.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely, and that's the part that gets where it gets sad. And I have something else to add to that, but I'll be right back. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, take your time. I mean, Alex, you do have a really great point. Like the fact that a lot of people in the scoop game, it's literally not to try and pass off information in a positive manner. It's not trying to engage in active civil discussion. No, it's literally just people telling other people what they want to hear, and also being trying to be the ones at the front of the line, be like, see, I did it first, or see, I got the story, see, I was right. It's like, you know what? If you really feel like ruining so many things for so many people just for the sake of saying I was right, my advice to you is go seek professional mental therapeutic help, because you clearly have some kind of superiority issue that you need to work out or work through. And frankly, bitching and whining and crying and arguing with people on the internet about it is not healthy at all. And even doubling down on bullshit is just as not healthy. It's just not a good look either. And when I saw that comparison from that certain scooper, it just, again, it did not sit well with me. It was really uncalled for, and it's really just a slap in the face to what Aldous Hodge is trying to do with Hawkman. Like,
I wouldn't even call her a scooper. She's just a YouTuber at this point.
She's something else. She is a bargain bin Harley Quinn.
Well, I don't think that she should be looking to enrage, Snyder fans to get more clicks. I know it's what you're trying to do, but I really wish you wouldn't do that.
Right.
But I also don't encourage getting your supporters to kind of what's the word? I don't think getting your followers to fight, to bring them to arms, getting them to fight back at people and talk shit. I just don't. That's not anything positive whatsoever. If you're gonna be in the scooping game, you got to be able to take shit when you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's going to happen regardless. Even if you're right 100% of the time and all of a sudden, boom, you get one wrong, people are going to call you out.
Yeah.
And I think that it says a lot about your character and how you carry yourself when you start to get that negative backlash for being wrong. And I think that shows. And a lot of these individuals, they act like fools when they get called out.
I mean, you mentioned that, and an old story actually comes to mind. There was one scooper on the other side of the fence regarding Marvel that I actually had a discussion with, and and this was in the middle of the pandemic too. Like this is really interesting. Like he was doubling down on the idea that once Marvel set these dates for these movies, that they were going to stick. And I was like, Chief, we're in a fucking pandemic. They've changed dates for movies before. I promise you, these things are probably going to change. And he's like, oh no, Marvel always stick to their dates. And I'm like, okay, Chief, whatever you think. Fantastic Four is for sure going to come out in 2023 because you said so.
Exactly.
I stand corrected. That person no longer and I interact. He has me blocked. And it's like, well, you know what? Maybe learn to take an L once in a while, Mr. Murphy. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I let that slip?
This one I thought was funny, though. This was yesterday.
Yeah.
List, right?
Yeah.
And he says, we all know the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon game, right? Where you link a random actor to Kevin Bacon with other actors. That's what this shit has turned into with the Snyderverse. And when I read this headline, it said The Rock, Black Adam almost debuted in a Snyderverse sequel. I knew exactly where they were going with this because of Gavin O'Connor.
Yep.
And then not only that, but now you can say, I scooped this back on this day, or I reported this back on this day, on this channel or on this article. Here's a link. So it's just another way of kind of boosting yourself up. But at the same time, this part of it is true in the sense that Gavin O'Connor originally the story was going to be that the Suicide Squad go on a mission and to find this weapon. It ends up being Black Adam. And that's how you introduce Black Adam into the world, which I still think is a really cool story.
Yeah.
Like a good idea.
Yeah.
But this wasn't going to be a direct sequel following the Ayer cut. No, this was going to be a sequel to Studio Squad, which they then later scrapped because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And in this thread, I mean, people are just like going at Dave for no good fucking reason. Oh, yeah. And you're just like, what are you doing? Saying, oh, they've been right, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's not even about that. He's talking about the clickbait title of the article.
Absolutely, yeah.
And everyone's like, no. It's like, oh, that's fine, whatever. It is what it is,
I just throw my hands up in the air sometimes when I see stuff like that. I'm just like, wow, that's a real easy way to just get clicks. Just put out just some absolute fucking nonsensical bullshit that doesn't even remotely matter in today's time.
It doesn't. And that's the sad part about all of it, is that at the end of the day, here's what I always kind of come back to now. Like, I do this, Phil does this, Ryan does this, we all do this for fun. This is just an outlet for us, and it's just a lot of fun. Do we make money off of this? A little bit. I don't make that much.
I don't make any money. I do all my podcasts and stuff for free.
I don't make much at all. Obviously, I have members and I have Patreon, so thank you to those who support the channel. But I'm telling you right now, it ain't that much. And some months I get this, and that's fine because this is a hobby. This is something I do on the side for fun. Because I love talking to you guys and just reporting the news and just talking about this shit. But other people out there, they just want to make money off of it.
They treat it like a legitimate career when they don't have the right kind of, I don't even know what the right word is. Like they try and treat it like they're really engraved into this business as some professional, when really the only professional thing about them is the invisible clown makeup and the invisible clown shoes that they have on. That's really kind of what it boils down to. Like they don't do it for fun. They don't do it for, you know, trying to be positive in any way, shape, or form. They're literally just doing it for the attention, for the, you know, responses, and the fact that some of them have a giant following. How, I don't know, but you know, maybe they've been doing the thing for far longer than we have, and that's why their following is a lot larger. I don't know.
Well, and the thing too is that, you know, if you know, there's a concept that we can run with, which is basically like, I can tell everybody what they want to hear. I can tell you that Zack's gonna come back. I can tell you that, you know, the sources I've been talked to, you know, all of them been saying Zack's gonna come back, blah, 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 blah. And it would probably do me a whole lot of good, because everyone would be like, yeah, I want to hear him what Nicotina says. He's always got good shit about the Snyderverse. But that's not, I can't live like that. I can't live with myself like that. Others can. And you know what? You know, if other people are making money off of that, then, you know, more power to you. You know, because there became a point in time where there's another YouTuber out there where at one point in time, this person could have folded up shop and just gone away and just gave up, but they didn't, and they kept striving, and now they're, you know, they're creating a fan base themselves. And so for that, I do commend them for sticking with it. But at some point, you got to look at your integrity and say, hey, where do I draw the line on that? So